Hello, hello. I don't think there's anybody here yet. Oh, so I have had one interesting day, interesting week, interesting month, whatever you want to call it. So my husband and I went this morning to have the oil changed on my car. And when we got back, our big dog, Rocky, was panting like crazy and he was trying to tell us something. So he kept going to the door and then looking back at us like he was trying to get us to come outside. So we came outside and something had gotten, I guess, into the duck goose pen. One of the ducks is completely missing. Can't find it anywhere. One of them was outside in the yard. Seemed more scared than anything, but we carried him back over and he's doing fine now. He's in the pond. But I don't know what happened, so we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. It kind of looks like Rocky may have gotten out there and he jumped over the fence, but I think he was after whatever was in there. And he knocked another part of the fence down. Well, we think he did. We don't really know what happened for sure. Pretty sure Rocky didn't do it, but don't know what happened. So anyway, that just happened. Like, I just finished taking care of them just a few minutes ago. And see, there's still nobody in here. So my husband, I think most people know by now, he went in a week ago Thursday for an angiogram, and then he was admitted and had cardiac bypass surgery on Saturday, so 1 week ago. And I guess one good thing about him being in the medical field is that he understands how important all of the steps are and doing exactly what they tell you to do. So as much as you may not like it, it may not feel good, whatever, it's what has to be done. So they had originally said that he would be in the hospital till at least probably Thursday or Friday. And by, I think it was Monday, they moved him to a regular room out of the CVICU. And Tuesday, they let him go home. It's kind of funny. All the nurses and stuff were calling him an overachiever because he was doing so well afterwards. But one of the doctors did tell him when he came in, he said, you're very lucky that you came in when you did, or you might be in heaven right now. So it was, I guess, pretty bad. I mean, it was only one artery. It was a single bypass. Hi, Des. How are you? So it was just a single bypass, but that one was pretty bad. So Paul, hello. How are you? We've got a couple people popping in now, finally. DJ, hello. So anyway, I was saying, let me check something here. We went in this morning and got the oil changed on my car. No, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we went in and got the oil changed on my car, and of course, we had to get new tires too. They said they were pretty darn bad. So we ended up there for like 2 hours, and when we got home, came through the door, and our big dog, Rocky, was panting like crazy, and he was trying to tell us something. And so, we got settled, and then he kept going to the door and coming back and looking at us and trying to tell us something was going on. So we went outside, and apparently, like I said, we weren't here, so we don't really know exactly what happened. But apparently something had gotten into the duck and goose pen. We had one duck that was laying there dead. Really just only had one bloody mark on the backside of one of his legs. So I'm not sure what happened there. We had one duck that was in the actual yard, but I think he was scared, wasn't really moving, let me walk right up to him and pick him up. But now he's in the pond and moving around fine. And we have one duck that is completely missing, can't find it anywhere. And it looks like Rocky tried to get in there and scare away whatever was there. He apparently, we don't know if it was him or whatever got in there, knocked down part of a fence area that we had up. But anyway, he was telling us something was going on out there. We're, 95% sure it wasn't Rocky. He just scared away whatever it was. But anyway, yeah, we've had problems with some possums and stuff before, so I don't know what got in there, but apparently something did. So, anyway, that's been a fun morning. And then I was just explaining my husband, most of you guys know now, a week ago Thursday, went in for an angiogram, and they admitted him, and he ended up having cardiac bypass surgery on Saturday morning. Let's see, DJ, I think I said hi to you. Double Dog, hello. Anyway, he had bypass surgery on Saturday morning, and Sunday, I guess one of the doctors came in and told him that he was very, very lucky. Rims Family Farm, hello, that he came in when he did, because they're saying if he didn't, he might not be here right now. Yeah, Paul, you might be right. We've had him for 3 years now, and this is the first time we've had a problem. So it might be something we need to do. But anyway, my husband was a radiology technician, and so in the medical field, in the hospitals all the time, and understands how important all of the steps that they tell you to take, everything that they tell you to do, as much as you may not like it, and as much as it may hurt, it's very important that you follow those steps. So he was doing everything he was supposed to do, and he was supposed to be in the CVICU for 3 days. He had surgery on Saturday. They moved him to his regular room on Monday, and they said that he probably wouldn't get out of the hospital till Thursday or Friday. But the nurses and the doctors were calling him an overachiever, because he was doing everything, walking more than what they required, but not too much, a little farther than they anticipated, and all that stuff, and did everything like he should, and he ended up coming home on Tuesday. So we've been having a fun time I'm trying to learn how to cook basically as low sodium as possible. That's kind of the main key. Low sodium, limited dairy, and more fruits and vegetables, of course. But the salt is the biggest one, and it's not been easy. So anyway, we're working through that, and then of course he's on a strict regimen. I had to kind of make almost like a schedule for each day because of all the stuff. Get up in the morning. He has to weigh because you have to make sure that you don't put on more than 4 pounds in one day, because if you do, then that's fluid around the heart and stuff. And so we have to weigh every morning. We have to take his temperature every morning, take his blood pressure every morning. And then he's got medication throughout the day that's on a schedule. He's got the breathing thing. Usually when you have surgery, they have the one where they have you blow. But in this case, because they have to collapse the lung in order to do the surgery. So in the recovery process, you're trying to get that lung to expand all the way back to the way it was before, which takes some time. So the breathing thing that you use is actually sucking in instead of blowing out. He's supposed to do that like 5 times a day. He has to walk 3 to 4 times a day. He has, it's just a list of things. Leg exercises, keep circulation going, just all kinds of stuff. So anyway, we're trying to stick to it, do everything exactly the way they want, at least until the 2-week checkup, to make sure everything's going like it's supposed to. And beyond that, he's actually doing really, really good. And a lot of these steps he had already taken before, as far as diet and things like that. But the sodium is the tough one, because everything has sodium and lots of it. So anyway, that's been fun. It's been one heck of a week. And then I have to be off work because there's too many things he can't do. No lifting and pushing and pulling, and can't lift his hands all the way over his head, any of that stuff, because they got to give that incision time to heal. So they made it clear that I needed to be home for that first 2 weeks to make sure I was able to do all that stuff with him. So yeah, it's been fun. Means he listened the first time and did it right. That way he gets to torture you a bit longer. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm glad to have him around a bit longer. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of scary for a couple of days. But anyway, he's doing well. Things are going good. He's our, like I said, he went with me to get the oil changed on the car this morning, and we went to the store yesterday. But it does wear him out. He can do it, but he's wore out by the time he's done. So anyway, he's doing well, and that's all we can ask for. So, so I have not done. First of all, I've missed 2 weeks in a row live because of all the health issues going on. Thanks, Des. But I also, haven't been able to post a lot of videos. So once he came home, because while he was in the hospital, it was, I'd get up in the morning, do the normal routine of feeding the animals and watering my seedlings and just the stuff that you have to do. And then I was at the hospital, and I was there till, evening time. And I'd come home and eat and kind of do the same thing, the routine with animals, whatever they needed. And then, by then it was time to relax a little bit and go to bed. So I wasn't getting a lot done. But after he got home, I posted, two videos? Yes, two videos this week after he got home, because I was part of the bread collaboration put on by Jamie at Jamie's Country Living. So I got that recipe done, and that video, got it posted. And then yesterday I posted a greenhouse, how the seedlings are doing, all that kind of stuff. So I got that done. So since I'm off for another week and a half, I'm going to see what I can do about getting caught up on some videos and getting some stuff out, because I have lost watch time hours because I wasn't putting anything out to make up for, I've been doing this over a year, so I lose watch hours every day. But normally I'm got enough stuff going on to still be gaining. And so for the last week, I actually lost. I know that fear. My last wife had a grand mal seizure. She had to, yeah, not fun. It's very scary, that's for sure. Especially when it's so, we had already been told he would have the angiogram on Thursday. If they found anything, if it just needed stents or whatever, they would do it right then. But if it needed more than that, then they would just, close him up or, stop the procedure and schedule for whatever needed to be done. So, we went in on Thursday thinking we were coming home Thursday afternoon and he was admitted. So when it all happened so fast, then it became, very scary. So, and apparently rightly so. So anyway, like I said, I'm trying to catch up on some videos. I want to do a video for the chicks. If you remember correctly, for those of you who were here, I had gotten 6 baby chicks, and then almost 2 weeks later, I got 9 or 10 more. And so the 6 were quite a bit bigger, after 2 weeks. The 6 were quite a bit bigger than the others. So I took a spot in my in the coop, and I took a bird cage that we had, and I just basically kind of peeled it open, put it in the corner of the coop, and I put those 6 in there because they were feathered out. They were good where they could, handle the little bit of cold weather at night and stuff. And there just wasn't enough room for all of them in the tote thing I'm using. So anyway, I put those 6 in there, but that was like 2 weeks ago. So yesterday, I pulled it back where it had an opening, and they started coming out. Actually, I think that was the day before yesterday. And when I went and checked on them yesterday, they were still kind of hanging out right around that. But when I went out there today, they are actually out and kind of hanging out under the enclosed coop part and running around and stuff. So they're doing well. But now the other, I'm pretty sure it's 10. The other ones are now pretty much feathered and getting too big for the container. So I think I'm going to go out there probably this afternoon and, clean out that corner, get fresh bedding in it and all that, and put the 10 in that spot so that they can have some. The good thing about doing it that way is the other chickens that's, right next to where the nesting boxes are. So as they're coming in and out, they all kind of get used to each other. They know each other's there. It's not so invasive. So they get to be curious and look at each other and peck at each other and whatever through the bars of the bird cage for a little while and before they get let out. So anyway, I'm going to do that today and try and get that on film. But I don't know if any of you guys watched. Hi, Jamie. I don't know if any of you guys watched the video on the seedlings, but especially the green beans and peas, they are like 15 to 18 inches tall. I have got to get those in the ground. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing in the next day or two. I was trying to wait till I could get some soil brought in, but right now the place where you get it, it's all mud because it's been raining so dang much. But I have all of that mulch that I brought in from when we had to have this tree trimmed out here. And I have my compost pile. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take the one bed that I know those are going in and put some of that mulch in first, and then fill it up with the soil from the compost pile because it's really good soil, and try and get it topped off with that and go ahead and get those green beans and peas planted. Because like I said, I took some, Jamie watched it. Okay, cool. I took some plastic square knives, because you always, if you buy the assorted ones, you always end up with a whole bunch of the knives left over. So I had a big old bag of those, and so I took and I put those down inside each one of the plant holes, the spots, and then I took those little green clips that I buy and just kind of clipped them onto the knife to hold those beans and peas upright. Worked really well. So, but I've got to get those planted because they're taking off. And I do have some other things that are going to be ready to go in the ground pretty soon too. So I'm hoping that, I know we're supposed to rain again Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's why I'm hoping the rest of today, tomorrow, and Monday that maybe I can get some of the beds finished up and get some stuff in the ground, because it's getting taller, that's for sure. So anyway, that's how my week or a couple of weeks has gone. It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure. But like I said, I'm off of work for another week and a half before I can go back. So hoping to get some stuff done. Great plants have 2 to 3 foot shoots. Yep. Yeah, we're seeing a bunch of stuff coming up on our grapes. We have like 4 or 5 different varieties. And they're kind of all like throughout the year. Some of them are early crop, some of them are in the middle, and some of them are at the end. So you got this. Oh, I appreciate you, Jamie. Yeah, it's gonna be fun learning how to cook and prepare meals with way less sodium. But we'll do what we got to do to make it work. And I think it scared him enough too that he may not stick strict diet, but he's definitely going to do better than he was before. Excuse me. So anyway, yeah, and then I guess now we'll have to kind of figure out what's going on with whatever's getting in with the ducks and geese. Because like I said, one's gone. Can't find it anywhere. We've walked around the whole yard, because the fence that they're in is only about somewhere between 4 and 5 foot tall. So, if they're being chased after, the ducks can jump over it. They won't normally, but if they're running for their lives, they can. So that was why we had found the one in the actual yard instead of in the pen. And then now one of them is dead. So we have 4 now. We started off with 6. We had a Peking duck, big white one, got really, really fat, and it just didn't make it. That's been like a year ago. So we had the 5, and now we have 4 because we can't find the one, or 3 actually. Let's see. I'm getting my numbers wrong, I think. There is 3. Yeah, 3 now. Because 1 was dead, that's 4. 1 we can't find, that's 5. Yeah. So we have 3 out there now, and then the 2 geese. So we're going to have to pay attention to, I think we are going to have to get a trail cam or get something where we can figure out what's going on out there. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of week I've had. It's been exhausting, but it sure has been nice lately to be able to work on some videos and try and get some stuff done. So I have to get I'm in the collaboration for Ashley at CNC Farm for freezer meals. And my video is supposed to post on, I think, Wednesday. I'll have to look to make sure, but I think it's Wednesday. Trying to keep track of the new chicks. Your new chicks? So anyway, I have to get that freezer meals video done and get it posted. And then, of course, I got my collaboration that starts in April. And I'm doing the first video for April 1st. So I got to get that one finished. But then I'm also doing one the 12th or something like that for my other channel. It's going to be posted. So I got a lot to do in the next week and a half, but I will get it done. I think I have to sneeze again. Oh, I feel it coming on. So, yeah, I'm excited about the chicks. They're growing so well, getting so big. They feather out so fast, and it's so funny when I go in there and look at them because I think I mentioned before 2 of them are Turkins. It's a black one and a yellow one. So every time I look in there, it's like, oh my gosh, something wrong. And then you realize the naked neck thing is the Turkins. And I told my husband yesterday when we looked in on them, I said, yep, they're getting ugly. But can't tell them apart yet. Yeah. Yeah, I have to, I need to write down, I didn't write it down, the varieties that I got, but it is fun to keep track. But they are, at least the ones that are, because the ones that I put out a couple weeks ago, the 6, those are starting to look like what they're supposed to look like. So that's kind of nice. You can see there's 2 Rhode Island Reds. There's a, gosh, I have to think about it now. I can't even remember now. I'm going to have to write them down and then match up which ones are which. But that's kind of how every time I've gotten chicks, I always get like 2 of a certain variety. And then when I go, the next year or 2 years or whatever later to get chicks, I get 2 of each of ones that I don't already have. Or in this case, I do already have a couple of, not Rhode Island Reds, but what they call production Reds. So it's a cross between a Rhode Island and I forget the other one. But anyway, I do have a couple of those, but we did get a couple more of the Rhode Island Reds because, for us, it was all about egg production and stuff. So these were given to us to hatch out. So I've got no clue. That's always fun. I have that issue sometimes. I've got, I think 5 of the ones that I have now are chicks that I let, we have a Buff Orpington that is always the broody one and hatches out the eggs and takes care of the chicks and all that kind of stuff. But she's done this like 3 times now. So I have like 5 chicks that I have no idea what kind of cross they are. Sometimes you can tell because I have one rooster. He's a cuckoo Marans. And so he has the feathered feet. His name is Elvis. He's black and white, and he's got the feathered feet, and he kind of looks like an Elvis. And so when the chicks are born, if they end up having the feathered feet, then I usually know that Elvis was the father. But you never know who the actual mom was. So it gets interesting trying to figure it out. Little Pooch is watching me. Yeah, he's. They were mad at us for leaving them for a couple hours this morning. They were very, very confused while, Gary was in the hospital and he doesn't work. So he's retired. And so a typical day, even if we left the house, it was just for an hour or two in the morning to run to the store or something. But other than that, Gary is always here. So when I came home Thursday without Gary, they didn't understand what was going on then. And then every morning, me getting up, getting my few things done, and then out the door, and then not coming back until the evening time, they had no idea, no clue at all what was going on. They got clingy, especially Rocky. He was all clingy, wanting attention and stuff. Couldn't figure out what was going on. So, yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, they're mad at us for leaving for a couple hours this morning. But Rocky over here is wore out from chasing off whatever got in the duck pen. And he's snoozing right here by my chair. Snoozing enough that he's not even looking up when I say his name. That's all right, Paul. Have a good day. I appreciate you stopping in. So anyway, yep, I'm going to Badass Dang. Hello. How are you doing? I am going to try and get some more videos done this week and get some more stuff posted. And then, as I said, I got my collaboration starting on the 1st. So I think Jamie is probably the only one in here that's a part of that, I think. And I do have still have some openings if anyone's interested. But anyway, that'll be starting on the 1st. So that's going to be busy. And then, like I said, I'm going to try and get the video of the chicks done, my freezer meals one done, my canning for my collaboration video, and then try and get those garden beds finished up, and I'll try and get that on film and post those for videos. So a lot going on while still trying to maintain the strict schedule for my husband. So it's interesting, but I'm glad he's still around. So I'm going to go ahead and post the link. All right, so if anybody wants to come up, they can. So anyway, yep, I'm going to be, I'm hoping that when I get done here, I can get out there and go ahead and get the chicks moved and maybe work a little bit in the garden, on the garden beds, just depending on how my husband's feeling. He's kind of wore out after being out this morning. So I always do this. I get about halfway through and then now I don't know what to say. I was thinking about, I will bring this up. I was thinking about once things get settled down a little bit and kind of back on track again. I don't know how many times I have said that. I'm thinking about maybe trying to start another series on lives. So trying to think of some subjects, whether it has to do with gardening, whether it has to do with food preparation, or, I'm not sure what yet. If you guys think of any ideas, let me know. I'll start cooking my Sunday dinner. Meatloaf, red sauce, and brown gravy, collard greens. Oh, that sounds so good, and it's everything my husband cannot have. uh, my day is going pretty darn good, Jamie. It is, other than the fact that we can't figure out what got in the duck and goose bin this morning while we were out. It's just, it's a good day. It's a good day. And like I said, I'm going to try and get out there after I'm done here and get some stuff done outside, because I haven't really been, even when I had the time here, if I did have time, it was raining. So our rainy season is supposed to be almost over. We shall see. As a matter of fact, what does the weather say? We are 58 and sunny today, 56 tomorrow, 62 Monday, rain Tuesday and Wednesday. And then clear and in the 60s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I might be able to get a few things done while I'm off. I really want to get the garden finished up and ready to plant. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out, I had picked up a couple of things of ground turkey because they were, you guys all know the way I shop. And I had picked up these 2 pounds, 2 different packages of ground turkey. So I was thinking about maybe mixing it half and half with some lean ground beef and making a meatloaf, because it would be much healthier. I got to pick and wash the greens. Yeah, that's not fun always, but it's nice to have your own that you can do that with. But anyway, yeah, think about making a meatloaf that way for my husband. He's so picky. He's a meat and potatoes kind of guy. So this diet has not been easy. If it was me, it would be easier, because I like all that stuff that you're supposed to be eating. And the hard part is the low sodium. Jilly G, hello. Only eat beef twice a month. Okay. Yeah, we probably, well, I guess with the ground beef, probably once a week, really, maybe twice a week sometimes. We eat a lot of chicken and a lot of pork. But trying to, we're trying to eat healthier, but at the same time, we have to eat the food we already have. And so, the pork chops and stuff like that aren't so bad because they're pretty lean. But like pork steak or, the ground beef is kind of fatty. We've got lots of sausage and bacon and all that stuff that he's not supposed to have very much of. So we were talking about packaging the stuff. I might have to repackage a few things so that I'm only cooking, he prefers bacon and I prefer sausage. So we're talking about packaging it to where it's, 2 slices of bacon and that's it. And my 2, sausage links or 1 big sausage patty or whatever, and just packaging it that way so that, because if I make more bacon, he will eat it. So anyway, we're just trying to figure out how to adjust the recipes and how to make the stuff, but still using what we already have. So it's going to be fun. And the worst part is all of the pre-packaged, the rice-a-ronis or the Knorr pasticides or, macaroni and cheese, or even just like the pancake mixes and gravies and sauces and all of that stuff that we have so much of is so loaded with sodium. It's crazy. So I don't know. We're going to have to figure that part out. See Jasper right there. Staring at me out of the corner of his chair. So anyway, now the first night that I made a real dinner, because she came home Tuesday, but it was kind of late. And Wednesday, I think it's the one I posted on my community page. We had, I'd taken boneless skinless chicken breast, and it's the ones that were already sliced thin. And I put those on a pan. I bought some Smart Balance, Heart Healthy, whatever butter spread. So I put just a little bit of that on there, and then Mrs. Dash. I put that in the oven, and then I had roasted potatoes that I, just cubed up some potatoes, put just a tiny bit of olive oil, and I had another salt-free seasoning, sort of like Mrs. Dash, that I used on those. I put those in the oven, and for me, it needed salt, of course, but considering, it was pretty darn tasty. Chicken is my favorite meat. Since I was born and raised in Florida and had a house on the Gulf, seafood would be right up there. We ate a lot of seafood. Yeah, I love seafood. And I would eat it more, but my husband does not like he'll eat fried shrimp, of course, but he won't eat really anything else. And I love shrimp and, the lobster, the crabs, the fish, any fish. I even like catfish and trout and bass and cod and tilapia. I like it all. But he doesn't like any of it. So I would have it a whole lot more often. So why I was saying if we were doing this diet for me, it would be a whole lot easier because I like all that stuff and he does not. So, and it's just like with the vegetables. He eats corn and green beans, bell pepper and onion, tomato, cucumber, lettuce, and occasionally some peas or carrots. But that's it. There's no squashes, no eggplants, no cauliflower, no broccoli, no collard greens or any of that kind of thing. No Brussels sprouts. No, he doesn't like any of that stuff. So makes it interesting to keep dinners healthy without having the same thing all the time. So all right, well, since nobody's going to come up, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it so that I'm not just saying the same stuff over and over and over again. But anyway, I will get some videos out this week, I promise, and be on the lookout for the collaboration. It's called hashtag Feast in a Jar 2023. That starts on April 1st. And I appreciate all you guys who did come in today. I know I didn't give much notice because I didn't know with everything going on what time I was going to be able to go live. So I do appreciate you guys for coming, all of you that did show up. But anyway, I am going to call it here, and I will see you guys next week. And some of you I will see in your own lives throughout the week. So I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe. tell everybody that you love them because you don't know how long you have. And have a good day, guys.